You're on in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I didn't know I was doing alone. Hi, guys. Don't know where Jimmy went. Did he tell me? I don't know. Hey, what's up? Oh, there. Now he's back. Literally. Right. It's calling it now. This is the Jimmy gives Jovan all the money episode because it is Juneteenth and we carry the flame.
We also call
snow,
it wishful
never
thinking
melts.
episode. Hi everybody, welcome to Calling It Out.
Crazy. Jimmy just admitting he's anti-black right here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure that at all the corporations that are profit share and co-op across the nation, that they're all going, by the way, all you whites are working for free today.
Yeah, that's what they should do. Personally,
I believe that's the default policy. They're like, guys, 400 years, you can do it for one day a year, you know.
You can do it once. It's okay.
Come on, guys, you'll be fine. Welcome everybody. Yeah, happy Juneteenth. I forgot it was Juneteenth. But
of course you did your way.
I'm planning on going downtown tomorrow for the festivities if it's not too hot, and it's not supposed to be too hot. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be pretty good out. I think
so what you're saying is you can't work for free on Juneteenth, but you can reap in the benefits of Juneteenth festivities.
What benefits will I get? I can't eat any of the food, and let's be honest, that's the coolest part of Juneteenth is the giant mega cookout with the incredible food.
You're not invited to the cookout. You get the music.
I done been to the cookout. It's over.
We are Jimmy Snow. Anyway, what's up? What we doing?
I don't know how much music is part of the festival in the town that I'll be going in. I imagine it's some, but Austin area is all about live music all the time. Yeah, welcome everybody. I don't know. I don't know how to get a call right now. Like legitimately, MAGA, you are welcome to call and debate us. Why would you? You guys lost. MAGA is done. It's over. Like, holy fucking shit. The Iran deal. The Iran, what is it called? Document of understanding? Is that what is it? A blank of understanding. Is it document? Do you know what I'm talking
about? I know what you're talking about. I don't know what they called it.
It's called something like that. Hang on. The memorandum of understanding. That's what we had. Just so you guys know.
It's already done. You know it's already done.
Right, it's over today.
It's already over.
Guys.
Iran literally closed the strait again today because Israel keeps attacking Lebanon, which was a part of the deal.
And now Donald Trump is using the language, Iran is over, Iran is finished, when it was fucking Israel's fault.
By the way, great. Guys, He's so good at what he does. He's so good at his job, right?
We were told how the memorandum of that we had a deal. Just so you guys know, a memorandum of understanding is not legally enforceable. And most of the time when they're used in the real world, like well over the majority of the time they're used in the real world for business, almost never is it actually the MOU that then gets solidified as the deal. You might have some things in common, but MOUs are nothing. They are a plan to have a plan. That was growing up. I was a Boy Scout. Surprise. I was a Boy Scout growing up. And I'm not even joking. We had more planning meetings than we had like camping trips and going and doing stuff. And to the point that it became a joke. My dad once asked me like, didn't you have a planning meeting like last week? And I was like, yeah, I think we just do planning meetings. An MOU is a plan to have a plan, and we were told it's done.
He has concepts of plans, remember?
Yeah, concepts. MAGA is done. MAGA is over. Donald Trump is done. Did you see what herself? Miriam is it Edelson? What's her last name?
My favorite thing right now is watching the reflecting pool chip away.
Oh yeah,
like
if
that isn't such metaphor. A great like metaphor for his presidency, I don't know what is.
a reflecting pool which refuses to reflect, which has the best intentions but gets murked up, is honestly so like the reflecting pool. Would you call it an important problem? No, but technically was a problem. The reflecting pool has always had issues. Of the issues Donald Trump came in promising to fix, was essentially the easiest of the issues.
Yes.
The absolute easiest thing that he could have taken on to fix, and he fucked it up.
Bro, it grew the algae back like,
faster.
In a week, it was back.
And then they wanted to blame it on the spores from the Obama administration.
Blaming it on Obama. You just drained the whole thing. What spores?
Obama.
Why didn't you get the spores out?
In the pipes, Obama was storing them up. Like,
do you see all these people now that were like, and then the Capitol Police actually caught 2 Antifa members dumping algae into the pond. Like,
right.
Fucking morons,
right?
Dude.
That's how, guys. If that was how, and I will accept that is true if they will take Antifa off the terrorist list, because if the terrorism Antifa is up to, this conniving domestic terrorist group is dumping algae spores into pools, bruh, maybe we don't put them on the same list as the people who did the 2 towers, right? You know, Bush. Just kidding. I'm not a truther.
Might be beneficial, you know?
Just fucking like, yeah, they're a really dangerous, dark, and evil organization. You know, they will come into your pool and they will dump algae in it.
Antifa.
It's hard to make a better metaphor for Trump. And everybody turned on him on this Iran thing. I saw Ben Shapiro on Fox News shit talking it. I saw Wall Street Journal dragging him over it. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. How do you fail this hard so MAGA's done. Like, honestly, it's done. It's over. At this point, if something happens to Trump between now and the midterms, I will be conspiracy brained about it. I don't know how to resist. Like, I'm like, right now, they're sitting up there going, okay, what if we fake his death and we let JD Vance take over, and then we run the midterms on don't let the Democrats stop the JD Vance agenda, which is the actual real agenda you guys want. And then JD Vance just comes out on the stage and just yells, trans, 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 trans. And that's all he does. He just yells trans like that over and over, and then they win.
But you know, the worst part is it could work. The worst part is it would work. It would work. They're so fucking lost in the sauce that it's literally that Family Guy, the Lois Griffin 9/11 meme.
Yeah.
Just they say trans people again.
Yeah. It's fucking bananas. These people are so inept, and they've just proven time and time again. And I don't know. I'm going to do my best. Here's the thing, guys, too. Y'all get bored of me talking about the AI thing, which I still think is the most important thing we're not talking about. But we have also been doing it basically to fill in when conservatives aren't willing to call in. So it's at least there's a debate happening. We have a conservative on the line right now, allegedly.
Computer, give us a conservative.
It is unsurprising that today and recently they now only want to call on social issues, right?
Yeah.
They only want to call.
I find I get the most callers when I'm doing like the atheism call boards.
Yeah. Which we have a whole ass channel for that, guys.
They do not want to debate politics right now because they're like, shit.
Whoa, wait a second. I got to show you something real quick. I got to send this to you on Discord. I'm not going to post this publicly. Just want you to see the information for this call. I'm just saying, You see that part at the end highlighted in blue?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear it with their whole chest. I'm going to bet that this is like not true, that it's not that exact person, just someone on their planet.
I would assume.
All right, let's find out. Let's talk to Dre, a conservative in Arizona. Dre, you're on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. I do see we have a little bit of screener information here missing. So we do have a lot of people watching live right now. Our question for you is, should they refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
You can refer to me as a he.
That sounds great. All right, Dre, what's you calling in on?
Well, although I'm not completely aligned with many of the things that Trump and the MAGA movement has been doing, especially in this latest administration, I think there's been a lot of under delivery or misdirection. You know, I'm not a big fan of the whole thing in Iran, and honestly, this limited agreement gives a lot of concessions that weren't previously given to Iran, and basically the tax on the boats coming through the strait.
But he is very successfully enriching his own pockets. I mean, it's crazy because it's like there are things you can see that he is doing that are succeeding, just never to the benefit of America, only to the benefit of his own pockets. So, Dre, we can both agree that this is very clearly a corrupt, inept, bullshit administration. I assume you voted for him. Do you plan to vote for the type of people who could actually issue him consequences, could put a check on him, because his unchecked powers right now are clearly something he is taking advantage of, and you have a midterm coming up. He currently has no checks. Will you be voting to restore the checks on what is obviously the most corrupt president we've ever had?
I think there's a broad assumption there, which I wouldn't completely agree with. Unfortunately, most politicians are into enriching themselves or their own
and I said most corrupt. I never said other politicians aren't corrupt. Do you know how much money Donald Trump has made since he became president?
I know it was almost doubled his net worth, but
billions, dog.
Right, we're talking billions.
It's substantial.
And we can directly tie it to policies. Hang on. We can directly tie it to policies and political actions he's taken. We can directly tie also the wealth of his family, and the fact that we can see on these apps like Kalshi and these trading apps that there are people inside making ginormous trades on information he's feeding. He is doing what is definitely an illegal pump and dump scheme, but nobody is enforcing it because it's him. And so when we're talking about, when you're like, yeah, all politicians enrich themselves, correct, usually by doing speaking engagements. In Congress, they're allowed to insider trade. That's corrupt bullshit. When this administration was asked whether that should go away, they said yes for them, but not for the president. The president should still be able to insider trade, and that Congress should lead by example, not the president. So again, the assertion I'm giving you is he is clearly, without a doubt, and there isn't a close second, the most corrupt, violating the emoluments clause at a higher amount than anybody ever has, the most corrupt. And if you think that you can present to me somebody more corrupt with the facts behind it, like I've just laid out for you, I'd happily hear it, and I would concede if there's a more corrupt person than him.
No, I would definitely agree in some forms. There's questionable things occurring on different marketplaces, Kalshi, Polymarket, whether not that's
Trump
conclusive in art. Yeah, whatever it might be. That's not something I would endorse, and ultimately having restrictions on insider trading should be broad and across the board, so I would agree with that. However,
but what about Trump coin? Because that's not even insider trading. That's an actual pump and dump racket that foreign entities are pumping his coin, raising the value of it. He cashes out, raises the value of his portfolio by tens to hundreds of millions of dollars. Then they have a cool-off period. He buys back in low. And not to mention, every time these trades are happening, he's getting money based on fees. And this was a thing that has only been happening. Like, you actually saw his net worth when he wasn't president cool off and stop growing so much. So he doubled his net worth the first time he was president. This was things like they were booking tremendously high expensive trips to his hotel that nobody was showing actually up to, but still getting charged again in foreign entities. All kinds of shit he was doing to increase. He doubled it his first term, and then has more than doubled it again since the beginning of his second term. So he's accelerated the rate tremendously, all while now giving buddies like Elon Musk. The DOJ just tried to step in with a Tennessee lawsuit because Elon Musk is abusing the power grid there. And they're trying to get it thrown out for him. And not to mention Elon Musk getting special exceptions on the IPO they just did, which further enriched not just Elon Musk, but also a tremendous number of people in Trump's inner orbit, including members of his family. Yeah. Even this Iran deal, this $300 billion commitment to develop Iran was going to be very much to the benefit of Jared Kushner, his son-in-law. So these are what I say, most corrupt.
If that can be proven, and it is illegal, the president does have additional protections.
Yep.
Not that I
total
agree
immunity
with it,
now,
but
actually, because he has an excessively right-wing Supreme Court. They granted him total immunity. So this is what I asked: is at present there are zero checks on his power because he has all branches of government in his pocket. Will you be voting this midterm to restore a check on the most corrupt president? Or if you want to just go with very corrupt president, but you don't want to commit to most corrupt of all time, who is currently selling out our country for a deal that sucks way more than what Obama got out of Iran?
Well, again, is it conclusive at this time? Is it illegal? You know, provable based on those facts?
Yes.
Well, then it should be tried in a court of law and be proven. And
right, and that won't happen unless we put checking powers back. This is what I'm just laid out to you.
Yeah, but would I now vote for a Democrat?
Yes.
Unless they, unfortunately,
to check the power of corruption. Yeah, to check the power of corruption that's coming from the right.
It would come at the compromise of so many other things that I don't believe in, and ultimately why I didn't vote for Kamala and wouldn't
then all
have
you're
supported Biden had he sustained.
Cool. Then you can stick voting right wing because you would rather have no check on a super corrupt president who is selling you out and raising your costs.
That's a misrepresentation.
You would rather have that than the Democrats who were actually leading a successful recovery. And I'm not even a Democrat, and I'm saying they're obviously the better choice.
I just don't understand when we're like, we had an entire first term of Trump presidency versus a term of like the Democrats under Biden, and it's not even close. Like,
it's not
the difference
in what way?
No. Donald Trump increased the deficit more. He had a worse unemployment rate. He, like, literally by almost every metric, Biden's presidency was better for the American people. By like every
inflation
metric.
Was at all-time highs.
Inflation hit its all-time high. Stop.
See,
this is what I'm talking about. Stop.
Interrupting me.
First and foremost, I've barely spoken. Shut the fuck up. You're muted. I've barely spoken. Shut up. Oh, you're interrupting me. Inflation reached its peak during Trump, not during Biden. Trump had a higher inflation rate than Biden did. So you're not going to sit here when I'm like in a debate and then get upset because I'm calling you out on this bullshit. You voted off of feelings because you vibed with Donald Trump more. It had nothing to do with political decisions. You didn't look up any of the political shit. Jimmy can unmute you when Jimmy feels like unmuting you. But I ain't putting up with that bullshit today.
No, you do as you like.
God damn.
Why is the button missing from the new app?
Average can be unmuted.
Trump averaged 1.9% inflation. Biden averaged.
You didn't say average. Now you changed it. You didn't say average. You didn't say average. So now you fucking moved the goalpost.
No,
how
is that?
No,
I'm not.
Do you want me to I'll play back the tape. You want me to play back the tape? No. Having higher inflation and averages of inflation are two different things. Trump saw inflation at its absolute peak. Biden had to work it down from Trump's high numbers.
Going into COVID, having a unique,
Trump
unprecedented.
Where did Biden's inflation come from? This is what you all dumb fucks do all the time. You're like, well, Trump,
Wow.
it's not Trump's
Why
fault.
are you such
It's
an
not Trump's
angry
fault.
black man?
It's not Trump's fault. Mute it again. I don't
Oh.
give a fuck what you say, dumb fuck. Oh, it's not Trump's. Get off your mom's cell phone plan and then fucking come talk to me. Oh, well, Donald Trump, it's not Donald Trump's fault. He had COVID. And then when fucking Biden, who came in during COVID, you're like, oh, well, Biden, the fucking fucked up Democrats. You're all fucking cock gugglers for Trump. And I want to know what his dick tastes like, because goddamn, it must be delicious the way you guys fucking swallow that shit. Like, I'd swallow a dick too if it was that good. Maybe I'm missing something. Jimmy is, I assume, I mean, Jimmy, I know it.
It's still Pride Month, so you would need to be more endorsed
dude.
of swallowing
You people are so fucking brain dead. You're cold, like you're at the peak here. This is what's happening. You're on the edge of your fucking cult, and you're looking down, and you're afraid of jumping off that ledge. And off that ledge, I hate to tell you what's off that ledge. It's free thinking, and you could be there with the rest of us. You could be in the free thinking land, but you're fucking terrified because you're afraid to think for yourself.
Dre, I've got maybe what should be an obvious question to you, and I'll give you an opportunity to answer it here in a moment. You're talking about inflation, and you want to say that there are zero metrics beneficial to the Americans that are better now than when Biden left office. So it wouldn't even matter whether or not you were right about who had a higher peak. It genuinely wouldn't matter. We both already, you said it too, COVID, we would both sit here and agree that COVID, and I assume you're not an idiot and you know the war in Ukraine, caused some amount, each of them caused a tremendous amount of inflation. And so after that, different presidents went to work. When Donald Trump left office, it was still going up. Now you can argue that's because COVID was still going. And when Ukraine hit, it went up some more. But when Biden left office, his inflation recovery had succeeded because it got down to 3%. So Dre, let's start here. What is the current for May 2026 rate of inflation year over year inflation?
I don't have the number right in front of me, but
I do. It's
again, you guys just want to
4.2%.
Okay.
It's 4.2%.
So you guys just want to spew orange man bad and maintain the same dynamic.
Okay. Nope,
in
Jimmy,
having
sorry,
like
Jimmy, no. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not orange man bad. We're giving you actual metrics, you
literal
absolute
facts.
ignoramus. It
Right.
would be one thing if me and Jimmy were up here and we were like, we don't like Trump because he says mean things sometimes. No, we can give you actual metrics why he's bad. Jimmy's brought up the fact that Donald Trump has increased his pockets more than any other fucking president in our lifetime. He didn't even get into the insider trading bullshit. We could talk about Trump fucking throwing Howley under the bus and getting rid of the Pelosi Act because Trump didn't want to be fucking curtailed by Congress and lose his ability to insider trade. What else should we talk about? Should we talk about Trump's bungling of the fucking Epstein files? Should we talk about that? We can talk about that if you want to. Do you want to talk about the fact that Trump illegally put his name on a fucking building? Do you want to talk about the millions of dollars we just, and it got taken off. Do you want to talk about the millions of dollars we just wasted? Or should we talk about the billions we just wasted in Iran after losing a deal because Trump can't keep Netanyahu on a fucking short enough leash? What else should we talk about? Should we talk about which president increased our deficit more? What do you think, Jimmy? Should we talk about the fucking trillions Trump increased the deficit by compared to Biden? What do you want to talk about, homie? You want to talk about fucking how Trump saw the worst number for job growth since 2003? Trump resided over the worst year of job growth, adding only 100,000 jobs to the fucking economy. I can give you numbers. You don't give a fuck about them because you literally gargled Trump's left tit. And it's such a shame because we were having a decent conversation until you turn into a little whiny bitch. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Dre's too. Dre, you wanted to talk about averages. So Donald Trump has been president for a year and a half. Which one is higher? The last 18 months of inflation or the 18 months prior? Where he's had 18 months, right? 17 technically, so you can choose whichever number you like. Which one is higher? The average inflation for the last 18 months or the 18 months prior to that?
You guys just want to continue to frame.
No, you have a
what
question.
other people, without actually
Dre,
listening. No,
answer
I'm
the
not
question.
answering
Dre,
your question.
answer the question. Dre, I don't care.
It's not exactly.
Okay.
Whiny
And that's
little
me
bitch
muting
Dre
you
again.
You're just going to whine
Whiny
about the
little bitch
conversation
Dre
because you don't
going
want to
again.
engage the actual numbers and the actual points. Donald Trump has had worse inflation for the last 18 months than Biden did for his final 18 months because Biden was actually recovering from inflation. And you can see what a failure Trump is. As you sat here and was like, there's some things I don't like about Trump. And yet here you are, because you are in a cult, going, okay, but as soon as you start talking shit about Trump, I'm going to defend him, even though I already know he's a corrupt piece of shit. Biden was successfully recovering inflation. Donald Trump slowed it and reversed it. We're now back above the 4% mark. So, and by the way, that's talking about what is that, CPI versus core inflation, which is even more above that because food's still going up more, beef prices have gone up more,
Electricity's gone up.
And now we're also seeing the direct results of the bullshit he's doing. He literally defunded the people who were stopping screw worms. Is that what they're called? Screw worms or hookworms? Screw worms from infecting beef in America. And guess what? In Texas, I'm literally getting those like emergency texts of like, please click this link and follow this information in case you need to know about screw worms in your area. I'm getting emails from my vets about how to identify if my dog has screw worms. So he defunds that shit. He defunded fucking NOAA. And now our weather apps, I don't know how we don't talk about this every day. Maybe it's because I like the reading about the weather more than other people. Nobody cares that our weather apps are nonsense now. That we will get a 0% chance of rain and then have a storm and a guaranteed storm and just see the sun all day. Nobody cares that
Get ready for Super El Nino.
And then they go and write their fucking bullshit where they're like, oh, you weather people are such dicks saying it was going to rain during my birthday party. Well, maybe if you would fund the fucking weather services, we would know. Dre, you can't. So I'm going to unmute you. If you want to actually engage and you want to actually present points, I've presented my points instead of sitting there and whining going, oh, you're just being negative and it's just Orange Man bad. What is a single way that the U.S. is better off now that Donald Trump is president than when Joe Biden, who I don't like and think is a piece of shit because I'm not a Democrat, but then when Joe Biden was in office? Your silence is the correct answer.
No. Sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted. It's a good thing you guys can just mute people, and
it is because you get off topic and you just whine. You're right. It is good because you get off topic and you just whine. You're controlling and framing the narrative.
Versus the argument.
I just muted you again because I'm literally turning it over for you to make points, and all you want to do is whine about. Yes, if all you're going to do is whine about how much control you have on a show that is featuring you as a guest, you're correct. I'm going to keep muting you. If you actually want to make on point points, you will get to go. But unfortunately, one of us does this for a living and the other doesn't. And you don't know how to stay on point. And I'm going to keep forcing you back on. So now when I unmute you.
All we want is one way. Specifically one. That's it. I don't want to hear shit else. I don't want to hear you guys always mute. I don't want to hear you have TDS. I don't want to hear Orange Man back. Give us one metric in which the country is better today than it was a year ago.
2 years ago, because Trump was in office a year ago.
Sure.
Dude,
a year and a half.
Time has fucking just become nothing. One way, it's better under Trump than it was under Biden. Dre, go.
Bro, what did I say at the beginning of this conversation? You guys want to scream and yell.
Goddamn.
Cool. So that's the mute again because you're not answering the question. If your answer is it's not, that it in every way was better under Biden, that would be acceptable.
That must be the answer. Otherwise, he would have answered. He would have answered the question.
You are complaining about you being censored and shit. If you want to actually engage in the topic at hand, you can do it. Otherwise, go get your mom who owns your phone plan to come and debate me instead.
How often
ahead,
do you
Dre.
beat your wife? This is the type of question. Like,
Dre.
it's silly. It's
No,
ridiculous.
it isn't. Nope. Indeed, it is not. The question is, just to remind everybody. So the whole thing of how often do you beat your wife, where you can only say how often, or they're like, you didn't answer the question. That's how that one works. All we've asked him for is one single way that now that Trump has power, as do the Republicans, that the country is better than it was under Biden. And he is allowed to say, in no ways, it was when Biden left office, it was better, and Trump has made it worse. He's allowed to say that. He doesn't actually understand the how often do you beat your wife example, that he would say that this type of question is synonymous with it. That's fucking insane. So once again, Dre, in what ways, now that Republicans have power, is the country better than when it was under Biden, when Biden left office?
Limiting illegal immigration. And
Beautiful. Oh, I'm
again,
so glad you brought. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm
Perfect. Shut the
so
fuck
glad
up.
you
How
brought up
about you shut up?
immigration. Muted. I'm
You
so
said shut
glad
the
you brought
fuck
up
up.
immigration. Let's go over some immigration numbers. How about it, Jimmy?
I'm
First
excited.
and foremost, let's talk about immigration. Donald Trump deported 600 million undocumented immigrants in his first year.
600,000.
600,000. Sorry, thank you, Jimmy. 600,000 illegal undocumented immigrants.
Dre
Do you
ran
know?
like a bitch.
Do you know? It's fine. I'm going to finish this anyway, so Drake can listen back and hear how stupid he is. Biden deported more than that. Deported 675,000 undocumented immigrants for less money. Donald Trump's immigration plan has cost us more to deport less, while at the same time getting American citizens killed and beaten and jailed. 70% of the people detained under ICE under Donald Trump have no criminal record. Meanwhile, that is not the same case for Biden. Dre, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. And it was straight up embarrassing that you would call into a show with two people who do this for a living, not ready with some type of facts.
With any fact.
And that just proves.
By the way,
proves
the other
MAGA
way,
isn't a cult.
the other way I've taken callers who have said that before. Here, MAGA, if you're calling in, explain this to me. Why is America better with less illegal immigrants in it? Not conceptually, not theoretically, blah, blah, blah. Legitimately, we have the numbers. We actually know how it's affected our economy, how it's affected policy. How has them being out of our country, whether they were removed from Trump or us, improved our country? Because this is a thing they don't think about. They just hear illegal immigrants, so they go, and therefore automatically that's a bad taint. That's something dirtyifying America. So we're removing the dirt. And you're like, okay, so what did it do? Do we have more jobs? Are more people working? Oh,
Y'all don't make me do this emotional labor for free for you on Juneteenth. Send some super chats. It's Juneteenth. If y'all make me do this emotional labor for free, I will never forgive the white people in the audience. If you're black, don't send a single goddamn cent.
That will be tomorrow. Actually, if you send it today,
if you're black and you send money to Jimmy today, swear to God, the ancestors are looking down on you like you's eating potato salad with raisins in it.
Aren't we all eventually from Africa?
Get the fuck out. I'm gonna engage in a hostile takeover of the line.
I can't have privilege because I don't leave my house. Think about
you have the privilege to not die in your home.
That's true. Whenever the cops come to the door, if I answer, they don't just walk in. It's kind of cool. They'll ask.
Did you see them cops that killed that baby at that Walmart?
Dude, shoplifting and trespassing was the call.
Mm-hmm.
And ends with a dead 1-year-old shot. Like, whatever. It's one of those things where the people show what pieces of shit they are, the way they will sit there and defend that. And literally like, all right, I don't, like, whatever fucking defenses you have of, you guys realize that's fucking insane, right? Like, you're not engaging it as like this was a tragedy here and it was unfortunately unavoidable and we wish it hadn't happened, and honestly when it's that we wish they had been more thoughtful and tried to literally it's just basically people talking about why the 1-year-old ended up deserving it. That's fucking crazy.
Gmod, I have listened to the Fun Home soundtrack. Yes, or soundtrack. I know what Fun Home is. Fun Home's great. Yeah, no, it's so fucking crazy, dude, that this is where we live in.
Hey, Mike Jones, I know that you're trying to say that what Jovan was doing was dirty, but when it is a black person, you probably don't want to send your super chat with just the words dirty Jovan. I don't think that's what you meant by it.
You guys can also send money to my Cash App or Venmo.
Oh, he knows
that is also
this is the day I
acceptable.
can't complain about trying to bypass the profit share. He's like, you do have to hashtag reparations, and you have to spell it correctly without auto check.
Oh God! Anybody that hashtags reparations to my Venmo or Cash App, I will tell you what I would put on your cookout plate.
Oh, by the way, we have to announce tomorrow at 1:00 Central. Jovan and I are going to do a hangout with our patrons. So anybody at patreon.com/calltheline, we're going to do a Zoom hangout, probably like an hour, 90 minutes. I'll get the stuff up. But if you've ever wanted to come hang out and chat with us and do a Zoom, even if usually you don't do the Patreon thing, $5 and you're in. You can come in and hang out with us. Patreon.com/calltheline. We're doing that tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about the podcast, which is coming back in a slightly more form at that point as well. MAGA, you're done. Like,
do you also want to tell people what's happening in 30 minutes?
Yeah, 22, right? You're going to switch out with Jeff, who I've not met yet.
Yeah, no, that should be fun. I can't wait to watch you and Jeff, who've never interacted before.
Yeah, it's kind of a blind date kind of thing. I don't even know what Jeff looks like, to tell you all the truth. So
my Cash App, by the way, is Cash App tag Jovan Bradley Talks.
I'm feeling oppressed is the thing. 336 MAGA.
Are you feeling
MAGA,
like 3/5 of a person?
If you want to call in, MAGA, and complain, by the way, isn't 60% literally what we get from YouTube from a super chat? Don't we only get 3/5 of the super chat?
I think so. Do you feel like 3/5 a person is fucking? That's a great joke. I'm glad
MAGA,
I said it.
If you'd like to call in and defend the white oppression,
Venmo is just at Jovan Bradley.
336-543-2101. But I think MAGA knows they're done. Literally, that last guy couldn't. Yeah, Steve Hofstetter is very likely. I know he's going on your stream, and then we've talked about him coming on the line at some point too.
Yeah, once his I don't have those mod powers. That would have been great. I was gonna pin. I put my Cash App and my Venmo tag in the chat, and I was gonna pin it. I don't have those mod powers. Once he puts his debate with Mike Patriot out on Professor Mike. There was another TikToker whose name was Mike Patriot, who I hated more. I haven't spoken to him since he converted to Islam. Pretty sure that dude converted to Islam because he hates Jews. I'm like 90% sure. But once his debate with Professor Mike drops, he's gonna come on my stream, and we're gonna do a reaction to like highlights.
All right, I gotta listen to Professor Mike apparently talking about Juneteenth. Can you hear this? Oh
no.
Where Democrats kept black people enslaved for 2 more years. Slavery was abolished.
He said, "Happy Juneteenth," where Democrats kept black people enslaved for 2 more years after slavery was abolished. He's one of those fucking idiots.
Yeah. Dude,
I wish he would show. What
he does is he goes onto Twitter, he sees what everybody else is posting, and then he makes a video about it.
Right. He just says the
By the way, let me go. Cody, thank you for the Cash App. For your cookout plate, I'm seeing some brisket. You get some brisket on your plate.
I feel like you could. I feel like you could at least make this a little more worth it for me by making the things you're adding to the plate stereotypical and hilarious. You had the option to tell the white person that you were going to give him.
I don't know if they're white. I don't know if Cody's white. Could be.
Cody's white.
Rianne, thank you for the Cash App. On your plate, to piss off Jimmy, on your plate is some Kraft macaroni and cheese. But when you made it, you just put a little extra of like Fiesta blend from Walmart.
I just think it would be funny to tell white people that you're putting foods on their plate that they wouldn't want to have, because if they want it, like they literally like, I've never even tried okra. Is that like Brussels sprouts? Like that would be really funny.
Dude, we don't eat okra like that at the cookout, Jimmy. Something Wayward, thank you for the cash up. On your plate,
by the way, that's some gaslighting. I've been to Louisiana cookouts. There's absolutely okra there.
I'm putting on your plate, and this isn't a food. On your plate, you get in the garbage can that we filled with Kool-Aid and vodka. So you get in the rum punch. Kelly, thank you for the reparations. Kelly, on your plate, this is making Jimmy so upset, and I love it. This is so
right now
good.
I'm commenting.
This is healing.
Professor
this
Mike.
is healing for me.
Maga, where are you at?
On your
33654321001. I do want to also
on your
do the
plate.
show.
We are doing the show. Do we have a single call, Jimmy? Do we have a single call? Terrible for you. It's not terrible for my wallet right now.
By the way, I'm going to go to Jovan's stream after, and you guys can send me reparations to my Venmo. That would be
Jimmy's going to know what you're going to do is you're going to wait until it hits midnight exactly. And then you're going to be like, okay, now.
Flood it.
On your plate, you get, let's give you some ham hocks. That should make Jimmy happy.
There we go.
You get some ham hocks.
There we go.
Liquidy shit on your plate. I am giving you some ribs. Liquidy shit is for the shit. They getting some ribs. Ribs is great. Ribs is great. Yeah. Row Hope, on your plate, you get some quarter waters. You know what a quarter water is, Jimmy?
Quarter waters?
Yeah, Google quarter waters. You gotta say it like that, quarter water. You go to the corner store, you get some quarter waters.
A low-cost drink sold for 25 cents. Is it just
They're
sugar?
great. They're great. They're so good. Just
Google the little barrels?
Yeah, buddy. Quarter waters, they're so good.
I grew up poor in Tennessee. I've tried a lot of the iconic foods. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy that you equate our iconic foods with poverty. Tell me more about that.
I feel like this is a trap because I'm 100% correct, but you're just going to frame it like a dick. Like literally any, and by the way, not only is that the origin of a lot of foods, any of the ones that were good, we white people then stole and made expensive. Straight up.
You took them and made them worse 100% of the time.
Do you guys know that lobster used to be considered poor people food?
Yo, a lot of things that are great now were for the poors.
Right.
Ashley, thank you for the cash app. On your plate, you can have 3 Nathan skinless hot dogs on sweet Hawaiian buns. So that's what makes up for it.
That does feel
Melissa.
That does feel like cultural appropriation.
The sweet Hawaiian roll buns?
No. Nathan's hot dogs.
Oh, Nathan's hot dogs.
Yeah, that's a fundamentally white food.
Okay, so Nathan's hot dogs are definitely the best hot dogs, but they are never the ones that people splurge for at the cookouts. Nobody's paying Nathan prices for a cookout. You get in like ballpark francs.
Only poor white people have I ever had the shitty bar S. I feel like you don't see those at the cookouts unless a white person's on.
You don't like the sabrettes?
Is that what those are called? Bar S are gross.
Oh, bar S. I thought we were talking about sabrettes. No, sabrettes are the ones that they sell in like the hot dog carts on like all the city streets. When I went to DC, first thing I did was stop at a cart and get a sabrette.
You used to be able to get like a 10-pack of Bar S hot dogs for like $1.20 or something, and they're just awful.
Dude, a lot of people want me to do the reparations. Melissa, on your plate, thank you for the cash app, by the way. On your plate,
I would love a call. You know we are losing viewership. Granted, white viewership, so I don't want to put too much of a but.
On your plate, I'll just do this in the background. You coax the MAGA. You don't think it's coaxing MAGA that this black man is making so much of their white money
in reparations? Well, but it's mostly lib money, so they like that.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
On your plate, by the way, you're gonna get a delicious smash burger. I'm not gonna make you suffer through the Walmart, like the big red box of burgos.
Those are
frozen
delicious.
patties.
What's wrong with those?
Delicious is a crazy phrase.
I loved those. Those are awesome.
Costco has some fire frozen hamburgers now.
Oh, that's probably
they got like a frozen butter smash burger that you can get.
Costco's just always going to be, because that's not their goal. Isn't to make profit on their foods. They're a purely membership.
Oh no, I mean like the grocery Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mean
I'm
that
saying
they're making more
they get
money on
a,
the memberships than they
they
make on
basically are
the.
like, yeah, they're basically going like, we'll have the best version of stuff because we can sell it to you damn near cost, or we make up our money on the memberships.
Hey, you guys know what that is? You know what that membership is?
Socialism.
Socialism.
That's right.
Kelly specifically said jokes on Jimmy ham hocks are delicious. So Kelly, you are also getting
I
ham
didn't shit
hocks to
on
piss
ham
Jimmy off.
hocks. Wait, I thought you said ham hocks to make me happy.
Yeah, I said ham hocks because Jimmy wanted me to say a stereotypical
Because
like
I was
black
tired
food.
of you giving white people white
Jimmy
food. Like,
Jimmy
it's
said,
like,
I want you to tell me what slave dishes you're feeding these people.
Bro, you literally were like, hey, send me money for reparations and I'll hand you McDonald's chicken nuggets and French fries with only ketchup. Like, oh wow.
Oh shit,
wow,
true.
they're paying to be so white.
Goose, you're getting McDonald's chicken nuggets on your plate. So thank you so much for your reparations.
We're giving you chicken nuggets.
Lore, I don't want it. Lore said, if you make it bad, it's ableist since I'm blind.
Uh-oh. Well,
so Lore, you're
going
to get some, you can just have some barbecue chicken. Some delicious barbecue chicken. They always got barbecue chicken at the cookout. I haven't even gotten to the 10 Venmos, by the way. These are all still Cash Apps.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I could be done way quicker if you stopped interrupting.
At a certain point, this does turn and it becomes also racist. When a bunch of people are like sending monies not to black organizations, but just a black YouTuber on Juneteenth.
No, stop trying it.
This is so
I will take
crazy.
In lay of this, I will also take hilarious memes that are disparaging of Jimmy Snow.
And now
so I will also take those as reparations.
Will you also tell them if they send a screenshot of giving a donation to say black non-believers or a traditionally black charity, will they also get a shout out?
Yes.
You're
a fucking piece of shit.
You're doing this is such lib shit, man. This is so lib guilt. It only works on liberals.
This is such bullshit. Deborah, on your plate, you get the freshly cooked head of Jimmy Snow. Freshly cooked, ready to go. Look, we're getting a call.
But with the lemon pepper.
Let me get through them real quick. Megan, Amanda, and Anna, you three have to share one Frank's Hot.
A link?
Yeah, one link between the three of you. Tony, you get baked beans. Peter gets collard greens. Peter gets some collard greens. Robert can have some broccoli, but it's steamed, seasoned, and with cheese. Connor gets ice cream, specifically from the Mr. Softy as he pulls up. Connor gets some Mr. Softy.
Okay, that's fine. But how do I get in the line for the big bucket of ice cream? Because that stuff.
Wait, especially if they get the Neapolitan, so it's got all three of the flavors. Wait, that do be hitting. That do be hitting.
That's
that, or you know what hits better than that? You know what used to it slapped so hard? The little cups from school with the wooden spoons. Those shit went hard. Two more. C, you can have macaroni salad, and Melatonale, you can have Melatonale was at the RFR or not RFR ROR Revival of Reason. Melatonale, you can have popcorn chicken because you can have popcorn chicken because we had it at karaoke.
I swear they corrected me before when I said Ale to Ali, but I could have flipped it too.
They told me in person it's Melatonale. They told me that in person.
I would like to thank everybody for my consolation super chats, which I'm still sharing with Jovan.
That's so what happened here is Jimmy got consolation super chats because you guys felt guilty that the white man wasn't profiting off of the black man today. So he had to get some. People don't
just have Venmo and whatever else you were using, which happens more than
just fucking around. W to our chatters. I'm going to do this same thing when we switch over to my stream in an hour.
I'm trying to think about what white holiday would be the funniest to do this back to you. Like St. Patrick's Day? I don't know.
I'm part Irish. You're muted.
And it wouldn't let me unmute. I hit the button like 4 times. Yeah. You're part Irish. I'll come up with something.
I have a whole
word
ass white
Scandinavian
Irish
in it.
grandmother.
Scandinavian Heritage Day. That just at some point I'm going to be seeking something, and then I'll accidentally be doing some kind of Nazi shit.
Should we do my ancestry and read it live on the podcast one of these days and see what all I am? That could be a fun thing to do.
That could be fun. I would worry about if I do it too, and then that one part of my family I know exists, if they're roughly in the same region at roughly the same time. I'd be
you actually find out one of your ancestors' surname was Bradley. That would fuck us all up.
That would be yeah. Anyway, and then Jovan would own the line. I think that's right. I've seen the episode of Atlanta. You would own the line.
Let's be for real. If you found out your ancestors owned my ancestors, would you how guilty would you feel on a white guilt level?
I have adopted the black tradition of Marxism, so I'm good.
That good old black tradition.
I was just watching somebody, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like Threads or something, but someone was going viral for claiming that black people at large hate socialism. I was like,
oh shit, true.
Well, I don't know about that, buddy. All right. Here we go. I don't know. Luthien, how did they say to pronounce this name? Snow.
They just kept saying M Snow.
Well, that's not going to work.
Yes.
Jim Snow.
Mini Snow.
Yeah.
Have you met Jimmy's brother, Michael Snow?
Is this my mother? Is this Mother Snow?
I do not know if me and Jimmy are related, but I do know one thing. We are kicking Iran's ass in this war.
They just closed the Strait of Hormuz again.
Okay, we killed the supreme leader of Iran. We killed Ayatollah Khamenei.
And then who took over?
What's your point? Does that mean killing the leader of a country?
Who took over?
What is your point?
Yes, who took over? Who took over? You don't know.
If somebody killed,
you don't know.
If somebody killed him, no, his son.
Mr. Snow, and is his son more radical than he is?
Actually, I have another question, M. Snow. How old was the IO?
I mean, that guy kills gay people. That guy kills gay people.
His son is just real quick, Jimmy. His son is way more radical. His son actually wants to blow up the United States. He didn't. His son actually wants to launch nukes at us. His son didn't. No. Ayatollah Khamenei said repeatedly that using nuclear weapons was against Haram and it was wrong to do, and that's why he dismantled their nuclear weapons program in 2003. This was confirmed by every major agency. You don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, you can talk to him. I don't need this embarrassment.
All the liberal agencies that
Sorry,
go like war.
I have to come back in. Sorry. No, Donald Trump's own fucking intelligence agency in 2025, when they released a report saying Khamenei has not reinstated the nuclear weapons program he dismantled in 2003. You goober. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Hey, M. Snow, how old was the Ayatollah when he died?
He was 80, I think 86.
86 years old. And was he in good health or poor health?
He was in. Are you trying to say that the Ayatollah isn't a threat to America? Like, do you know?
No, I'm not.
Women?
No, I'm not. I'm saying
he's a good guy. Are you saying he's a good guy?
No,
Jimmy, we might be related. And you're.
All right, so I'm going to mute you because you don't know how this works. You're trying to get ahead of me. Answer the questions, and you'll find out where it is. You're sitting here trying to celebrate that we killed a man that we're only pretty sure we killed because there's kind of close to the same chance that a gentle breeze killed him moments before. This was an old, decrepit man on death's bed. All we did was accelerate the timeline of the not regime change, of the regime being taken over by his more radical son. But M. Snow, if we are kicking their ass so hard, is the strait closed right now or open?
I mean, listen, I understand they have a lot of leverage with the Strait of Hormuz because they can send inexpensive drones and do mines, and they do have a lot of influence over the strait.
So what was your question?
But you're missing no, that's a good point. Like, they do have... Sorry?
You were asked a question. Were you planning to answer it?
Yeah, yeah. I was just... Well, it's nuanced because overall...
No, it isn't.
I mean,
is the strait open or closed right now?
I mean, we had a blockade in there. So, I mean, yes and no. I think there's a little bit of truth. There's a lot of truth to what you're saying, but I don't necessarily think it's like Iran is
I'll answer your
the strait.
question, Jimmy. I'll answer your question. It's closed.
Yeah.
Because Israel broke the deal that Trump was going to broker.
Why?
I could say that.
Well,
If
they keep playing
it's
games.
like my front
They keep
door
playing
right
games.
now.
I
could say my front door is closed. That's because it is shut and closed.
It's really funny to like have somebody here defending so hard when right now the only thing that Republicans and Democrats agree on is that the memorandum of understanding was a fucking joke and Donald Trump has failed at his attempt to bring Iran to bear. Like, legitimately, I watched Ben Shapiro on Fox News yesterday ream how bad Donald Trump has done with Iran. There are Democrats and liberals who agreed that something needed to happen in Iran. I don't happen to agree with their assessment, but that something needed to happen in Iran, and they said this wasn't it. So you have literally the right and the Republicans and the Democrats all agreeing, except for you, Snow, in Pennsylvania, sitting there going, nah, this guy's nailing it.
Jimmy, how much did Obama give Iran with the JCPOA?
Was it 1.4 billion?
Dude,
1.3?
they were getting nuclear weapons.
How much are they? How much are they getting? Shut up! No, they weren't. How much are they getting? That's stupid to say. How much are they getting from Trump's deal? How much are they getting? By the way,
300 billion in investments.
But
300? No. Not just the 300 billion investments. How much is the U.S. releasing to them? I'm not even talking about the 300 billion. I'm talking about the 24 billion
assets. Yeah.
Way so more. They're upgrading from the 1.8 billion that Obama got them to 24 billion because Trump is terrible at making deals.
But you said that they got closer to a nuclear weapon. Hey, let me ask you, before tearing up the Iran deal, how high had Iran enriched their uranium? To what percentage? Snow?
I'm not really I'm not exactly positive, but I know that they were pursuing nuclear weapons.
No, they weren't. They weren't. They were at 3.7%. They were at 3.7%. Where did they enrich to after Trump tore up the deal, meaning they weren't restricted by the deal to not further enrich? Where did Donald Trump successfully get them to enrich to?
Dude, there's evidence that they're hiding nuclear weapons enrichment programs.
Right, and by the way, also, and there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I've heard this all before.
They're hiding. No.
What percentage?
Iraq, I agree with you.
What
I agree
percentage?
With you on that. Iraq is bad.
Yeah, and 20 years from now, you'll agree with me on Iran because you'll realize you fell for the same thing twice. Snow.
No, dude.
What percentage did they enrich to? What percentage did they enrich to after the deal got torn up?
What percentage did the liberal media report, or what percentage are they hiding?
Nope, Donald Trump's own intelligence agencies. What did they?
I didn't know that Tulsi Gabbard was a part of the liberal media.
Right,
that's crazy.
Right. I'm literally not a liberal. I shit on liberals all day.
I didn't know that Donald Trump picks liberals for his cabinet. I didn't know that. You're telling me Donald Trump picked a liberal for his? Yeah, Marco Rubio's a liberal now.
JD Vance.
Ooh, that liberal JD Vance.
Are you guys serious? Are you serious right now? Are you guys so serious right now?
No, that's funny. But okay, do you guys seriously trust Iran? There was a 24-day waiting period.
Nobody's talking about trusting Iran, but that doesn't mean we invade recklessly.
You know who I trust? Do you know who I trust? Do you know who I trust? Here's who I trust. I trust the Arms Control Coalition. I trust the Nuclear Energy Council. I trust the IPAEA. I trust them. I trust Donald Trump's own body of intelligence organizations. The 15 groups. They said, nope. Do you want me to read it directly? I can read you directly what I can read you directly what they said. Do you want me to read it directly? And then I'll swatch off because Jeff is here to swap over me. I'll read it directly. Shut your fucking ugly mouth up and I'll read it directly. I literally can't stand ugly ass motherfuckers like you who are so stupid. Here is directly from the head of the IAEA.
You're just saying that because I'm gay.
Here is what is said directly. I don't give a fuck that you're gay. My best friend is gay. I love that he sometimes sucks dick. It is okay for the rest of us. IAEA says, and I quote, "We have no proof that Iran is building nuclear weapons. If there were some activity which was hidden away from our inspectors, we couldn't know this. We have no evidence. We do not have, as in coincidence with some of the sources have mentioned there, any proof of a systematic effort to move into nuclear weapons. You're an idiot. I have to go. I'll see you guys in about an hour or so.
That I'm bi. You went with some other guy.
Oh, yeah, I said gay. I was talking about you, but I called you gay. I was doing bi erasure. Clearly, I was doing bi erasure.
I find cum disgusting, but they can.
Yeah, but you suck and tail the cum. Anyway, see you guys later.
That's not true. There's too much pre. Babe, would you go ahead and switch in Jeff over Jovan? Switch the person there. There we go. Snow, I gotta tell you, man, you're not doing so hot, but we're gonna take a moment. You're gonna let you cool off because I would like to remind everybody I asked a question and you have yet to answer it. And the answer was 60%. But Jeff, how are you? We haven't met yet.
Hello. Something happened with my camera.
Try just turning it on and off in Zoom specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that usually helps. It is not helping this time. Oh, wait.
Oh, there it is.
Something.
Hold on.
Snow has left and Snow has exited the call. The answer, by the way, people, was 60% because we actually had, and by the way, as people are talking about this Iran deal and stuff, did you guys know in this memorandum of understanding, there were zero enforcement? Like, no, his plan was if they violate it, we'll bomb them, but we wouldn't find out that they violated it until they have a nuke. And so he literally did not have random inspections as part of this MOU that was never going to be the deal anyway. So under Obama, they never passed 3.2%. Trump comes in, tears up the deal. They go, all right, well, if you're tearing it up, we're going to enrich now. And they have now enriched to 60%, meaning they are now just a short throw away from being able to get a nuclear weapon. We are closer to a nuclear armed Iran because Trump is president. Literally. Anyway. Hi, Jeff.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's good to meet you. Man.
Yeah, it was cool. We were trying to figure out a show earlier, and then Jovan was like, I've got to leave, but then I've got a show right after with Jeff. And I was like, well, just have Jeff come on. Sounds good to me.
You know what I don't know is why they just blindly accept the stuff. Like,
yeah,
I'm willing to say, hey, bombing a wedding is bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can say that no matter who does it, right? But then with this, it's like, hey, I don't fill my gas tank a lot because I work from home.
Yeah.
But when I have recently, I look and I'm like, what? I like tap the tap it to make sure it's working.
Yeah. I think
and they're okay with that.
Yeah. Well, and even when they're given an out on it, like, my guys, the Republicans aren't for this. They have said, hey, it's okay to tell Trump he fucked this one up because everyone sees it. And they're still standing by. And then they'll call in with something dumb like, they use the word spanking a lot. Iran was out of control and they needed a spanking. And I was like, so are you using the word spanking because that's a thing you do to kids? And what we've been doing in Iran is killing kids? Like, is that why specifically the word spanking? Also, guys, don't spank kids. But Republicans do. It's their favorite thing. Well, second favorite thing to do with kids, we've learned since Donald Trump became president, actually. Anyway, Snow, I'm afraid that was a failure. Guys, we've got some time left. If you want to debate myself and Jeff, I assume you're kind of in the whole leftist, atheist space. I don't know. Jovan didn't tell me much.
I'm more in the atheist space than I am in the leftist space, but I am a leftist.
Very cool.
I just refer to myself as a philosopher first. So I don't, and the reason is because I don't like the labeling of the ideology stuff. I think people should be fed.
Well,
I think people should eat.
Wild,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I think
you sound like a Marxist.
Yeah, I think there shouldn't be like rich people that have money for no reason so that they could have yachts while people starve. I don't think that's cool.
I just realized there are going to be people who join right now with a thumbnail that shows myself and Jovan, and they're going to think I'm racist. Should we? I don't have a thumbnail.
No, look. And this is real. I've only told Jovan this.
Yeah.
One of my best friends in this world, whom I've known since the last time the Knicks were in the finals, sent me a message a couple years ago, right after I had first met Jovan, and said, "Hey, I saw this guy on my Instagram. He reminds me of you." And yes, the punchline is he sent me a picture of Jovan.
We're just completing the meme. It's very full circle.
Yeah, so we get it all the time. I don't think we look alike. Jovan doesn't think we look alike. But people keep saying, "Hey, are you?" Even today, I was on an unrelated live, and somebody was like, "Hey, are you related to Jovan?" No, I'm not related.
Yeah. There is some, I mean, I can affirm it, but that's also because I've pretty strong autism and distinguish people by their hair more than their faces, and you guys have very different hair. I think most faces look alike. Like there's like 10 faces in the world. I don't know if you've noticed that, but there's pretty much 10. Everybody's sharing between minor modifications, but basically everybody's one of 10 faces.
Oh, okay. I mean,
that's an autism thing.
It takes forever for me to notice faces. I'm usually one that looks to my wife when we run into people we know, and I'm like,
recognize for you.
She'll like that. It's almost like a politician walking into a dinner, and the person. That one is the something.
The handler.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're called. Yeah. No, that's I need one of those.
I need supervision.
Yeah. I always it's hair and height. If I met a person in person, those are usually how I'm trying to find somebody in a crowd. They usually find me though, because I'm tall and have Christ-like features. Though that's becoming more popular these days, so I'm getting lost in a sea of Christs.
I mean, there are a lot of people that have like the long hair and beard look.
Yeah,
and I'm from New York, so for me, I walked into the barbershop today, and I had just gone on Monday, and the guy, the front chair guy, looked at me like, "What are you doing here? You're good already." And I'm like, "No, I'm doing some traveling, and I wanted to, I got to look right."
All right, It's strange how many people on this channel and on the line are either from New York or past. Like my family's from Long Island, the Levittown area. Okay. Obviously, Jovan's from New York. Owen, also from New York. There's a lot of New Yorkers around here. I know there's more, but I'm bad at remembering things. We've got some call screening. It looks like Snow might be trying to call back. Snow. I doubt it. Oh, by the way, just so everybody knows, the original prompt was that he gave the screener was that he wanted us to defend essentially. Well, he wrote, "I don't understand why chanting death to America is okay." It is funny the way people will like come in and try and poison the well, and it'll be like, no, it's because it's dope and it makes a good lyric. It sounds good. That's why we're cool with it, guys. I don't know. Dumb people say dumb shit, but we'll see if we get Snow back on after this other caller. Also, I don't know why I would take another caller who, when it's like, "Hey, can you start answering questions?" just hangs up.
I was just gonna ask, do you want me to screen him?
Yeah, you can. I just decide if I feel compelled to actually take him. We've only got 49 minutes until we move over to Jovan's channel. Jovan needs to make his live stream so we can redirect to it. Unless it's only going on Twitch. I can message it. Don't forget, everybody, you can hang out with Jovan and I on Zoom at 1 Central tomorrow on, if you are a patron, patreon.com/calltheline. We'll be doing it with everybody $5 and above. Let me text Jovan and tell him to make that thing. In the meantime, we will bring on... Okay. Kaysen? Is it just sounds like Jason but with a K? Is that right?
Yes. How you guys doing?
Just fine. How are you?
I'm enjoying my day. Wow, this is crazy. Your name is Jimmy?
Yes, and Jeff is also here.
Hello.
Jeff? Hello.
Yeah, Jeff.
Nice to meet you, gentlemen. Okay, so I saw the stream, and this is my first time ever doing this sort of thing, but I just wanted to get a further, I guess, knowledge on these geopolitical and global conflicts from people that seem to have a lot better grasp on the information, because I myself, I know the prompt says I'm a libertarian, but I classify myself as a paleo-libertarian with, so like,
so
socially
who'd you
I
vote
am
for in
liberal, but I do-
2024 in the general election?
I'm sorry?
Well, just make it easier to figure out what, where to begin. Who did you vote for in the 2024 general election? Trump or Kamala?
So I voted for Donald Trump.
Yep. And how about 2020?
During the first time I voted for, this is when Trump and Joe Biden were going head to head. I voted for that. And of course,
you voted for
Joe
who?
won. I voted for Donald Trump the first time, and then the second
so you're
time
a two-time
I voted
voter. If you could have voted in Hillary versus Trump, who would you have voted for?
Honestly, in that election, I probably wouldn't have voted at all.
Okay. Well, so for at least the two elections you did vote, there's clear differences between the two. And so whether or not you want to be defined as a libertarian, a paleo-libertarian, or whatever, a proposition with two possibilities were given, and your values did still line up with one of those two. And so you're not going to escape whatever. You can try and present some nuance, but I am going to assign you some notions on that basis.
Okay. Well,
I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah, it is. I would have rather, if I could have voted at that time, which I was too young, probably Bernie.
But Bernie wasn't in the general election. He was only in the primaries. We're not talking about primaries. I didn't vote for anybody.
Oh, okay.
I've never voted in a primary for a person who went on to a general election.
Okay. So the classification is either Hillary or Trump. Probably Trump.
Yeah, great. So now, what are you calling in to propose? Do you have some way by which you can defend that, for example, Donald Trump, who you voted for in 2024, was an improvement over Joe Biden? Anything like that?
I'd say giving America more of a substantial voice, and by which I mean it is more of a presence, even though obviously America's reach is very wide-reaching.
Are you talking about a symbolic presence? Because if you're describing the economic impact on the global stage, you're objectively incorrect. So if you're just saying we're louder and people notice us more, even people who are just minding their own business and don't want to hear about us, even they're hearing about us, to that end, I could agree. Economically, Donald Trump's tariff scheme actually ruined our trade with the rest of the world. And now you have countries that traditionally relied on American trade switching much of their reliance on other countries, the big one being China. China, what you're describing is actually more something Donald Trump did for China than did for America. So I would need to know if you just mean symbolically, we're now the loudest guy at the party, but not the most successful.
Okay.
You know what might help.
That's very
is like saying standing is very vague. Can you tell me specifically what it is that you're referring to? Like, what is the thing that you're looking at that you're like, that's the thing I like?
I guess putting forth American, how do I say this? Say putting forth American values first. And I understand that you told me that the tariffs were actually not benefiting us, but in fact benefiting the government and the residents of China. I didn't actually know that.
What American value do you feel wasn't being platformed? you're saying putting American values first. It sounded like you were saying, what American value is now in a higher status specifically than it was under Biden?
Okay, so earlier, watching the stream, I believe that you were mentioning giving $300 billion or something, or rather around that, to the state of Israel.
No, Iran.
Oh, Iran. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
So Donald Trump said that the Obama deal with Iran was a disaster because $1.2 to $1.3 billion of their money was returned to them. It wasn't, we weren't paying them. It wasn't like a ransom. It was money that had been taken and frozen in the past. We did a deal with them and we unfroze those assets and we returned the money. And that was the problem there. Now, similarly, Iran is getting $24 billion of unfrozen assets, which is, 10 times more than, 20 times as much. And they are getting $300 of committed investments, much of which will likely come from groups like, basically will be real estate deals for people that are in Donald Trump's orbit, like will benefit Jared Kushner. So what we're asking for...
like elitists that already have money.
Correct. Under Donald Trump, you have explosions of money going to the people who are already rich. Yes. So the question for you, though, was kind of now from both Jeff and I, could you go ahead and just be specific with you said American values now put first as opposed to under Biden. This is the thing that was better. So if you will first just start with what is the name of the specific value or category, the specific value that Donald Trump has improved upon that is an American value.
I'd say sovereignty, or independence, instead of, sticking our finger in everyone else's pie and getting involved with places that really have nothing to do with us, only for us to gain.
So could you tell me why we're in the war in Iran right now? Is it at the behest and for the best interest of the American people? Or are we doing it at the behest and the best interest of another super rich country that we're also funding things like their healthcare?
Well, my first instinct would say is oil. And secondly, what was the last part of your question?
Explain to me how the war in Iran doesn't actually show the opposite of what you said is true.
And while we're at it, also our interference in Venezuela,
right?
Just anywhere else that we've gone, How does that?
Cuba's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm kind of getting two different questions that it's hard for me to multitask. It's all the same one.
You're describing our sovereignty is improved. I would argue under Joe Biden, we can actually see that American sovereignty was more powerful because all the world had to go through a COVID recovery and ours stood out as the strongest recovery. We struggled the least, and we came back the hardest, and we had the quickest reduction in things like inflation. So that to me actually describes a country who, while acknowledging that it does have a place on the world stage because our economy is global and keeping our trade partners strong, wait a second. I just got a note that I have to check on. Keeping our still actually prioritizing America and the success of Americans. So that would be my description of how Joe Biden's administration, again, whom I am not a fan of, only in comparison to Donald Trump. Do I prefer? Because I'm a socialist. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I think that liberals do better things than the right do, but it is mostly performative and it is mostly to feel good about trying as opposed to seeking true, demonstrable solutions to problems.
If I may, can I ask you what why do you not support Joe Biden, or would you much more prefer Kamala in the reins of dealing with
Her name was Kamala.
these conflicts?
Kamala Harris is
Kamala.
probably preferable to Joe Biden and is definitely preferable to Donald Trump. And we know that even more now. Joe Biden's going through recovery for aggressive prostate cancer. Had he been reelected, I have a feeling she'd be president anyway. But Joe Biden governed to the left of Obama, and Kamala Harris would have likely governed to the left of him. Kamala Harris also being a little bit younger and having a brain that is less deteriorating in the prefrontal cortex and less locked into things that can happen at an accelerated pace, the way we've seen happen to John Fetterman if you have brain injuries, and then happens to everybody when they're older, was probably more malleable and adaptable and may have been able to come around to a more reasonable position on something like Gaza. There was more, even if it was low, there was more hope for an improved Gazan situation if Kamala Harris had been elected than there would have been under way too Catholic Joe Biden. There are a lot of reasons to prefer, but we are right now still waiting for an answer to your question, or the question we've given to you, which is how, if sovereignty, by the way, sovereignty is not an exclusively American value. That's literally, if you have a country, you value sovereignty. So you didn't even go with something that actually makes us unique in some way. Sovereignty is why Russia is claiming they own Ukraine. Like it was under the banner of sovereignty that they're invading a foreign nation. Sovereignty is a claimed value of every state. So we can stick with sovereignty if you like. Go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't even know that you can measure it in degrees unless you're saying like another country can, like you can make a claim about Canada's sovereignty because they have to pay tithes to the king or whatever. But that's not really something that president to president you can say, hey, we're less sovereign because like we're making our own laws.
Yeah.
We're not, you know, looking to any other country to guide us. But the thing about not putting our fingers in other countries, that's just not it's not bearing fruit. Like that's not what's happening.
Okay. Okay, if I could put it in another way, I would say, I'm sorry, gentlemen, I'm having a tough time articulating.
I think it's because you're trying to articulate a politically correct, like something that we won't detect immediately. I think you're trying to go, how do I describe that what I actually mean is nationalism?
Isn't every single country, like, can't you at least admit that every single country performs their own form of nationalism, and that's not necessarily...
What's the difference between
fascistic.
Nationalism and patriotism?
I'm not sure. Can you give me the definitions?
I
would say, oh, okay, sorry.
I prefer to now ask, do you believe nationalism can exceed a point of being that actually in excess of nationalism, in other words, increasing nationalism, it would pass a point where more nationalism actually equals bad?
Yes. I do think that it can and eventually will, without being...
What are signs that nationalism has gotten too high?
I'd say probably being ignorant, bigoted, or xenophobic or intolerant of other people's cultures.
So would you say that it's the leaders start to describe America or a country, if they are too nationalist, as a place that is especially for certain ethnicities and might start bastardizing other ethnicities and maybe describe certain groups of people as specifically or as tainting the blood of a country, that would be nationalism in excess?
I think it would depend whether or not it's a cultural aspect or a racial component. Because if it was a racial component, I would be completely against that.
Okay.
However, every culture has its problems that are problematic and toxic.
So let's talk about whether it's probably a racial. Let's talk about if it's probably a racial issue. You know that America is supposed to take, all free countries are supposed to take refugees, right? You understand that's a sort of a world agreed upon thing. We agree to take refugees and to help countries that are hurting as the result of conflicts and wars and the like, right?
Yes, that's what the Statue of Liberty is for.
If I told you that since October of 2025, we've taken about 7,000 refugees, how many of those refugees? Low. Yeah, that is low. So we're already not meeting our thing. We've taken about 7,000 refugees since October of 2025. How many of those refugees, what percentage of them would have to be white versus non-white for you to go, this administration's got a racial issue?
I try not to. Okay, I'll try to answer your question.
So go crazy. Look, you don't have to. I won't make you defend the number if I think your number is too low. Just give me a number that you know for sure. Like with me and money, I'll be like, I don't know what the exact number is, but I know I can defend $100 million is absolutely the most a person should be allowed to make. It's probably lower than that, but it's easy to defend at 100 million. So for you, if you've got 7,000 people, what percentage of them would have to be white for you to go, this is looking like we're kind of racist?
So a hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
If, let's say for apartheid South Africa.
No, let's say all of our refugees.
Just hear me out.
No. Let's not just hear you out, because going to apartheid South Africa is you trying to get out of our world responsibility. So it wouldn't work anyway, because if you're only going to apartheid South Africa, you're basically going, well, if that's the refugees we're taking, they're going to be mostly white. I'm saying 7,000, all of our world's refugees. What percentage?
I'm not saying that I'm not only taking in white farmers or white South Africans.
Okay, so just answer my question instead of trying to morph it. Let's say since October 2025, we took around 7,000. I can actually give you the exact number. We took around 6,668. That is almost the exact number of refugees in America since October of 2025. What percentage of those would have to be white for you to go, oh shit, we might be racist?
Now I suspect he knows the answer.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't put a measurement on.
So you're telling me that if we had 6,668 refugees.
You asked me a question.
Yeah, because you're not, because you're behaving in bad faith.
I'm articulating it, and you got to let me respond, man.
That if 6,668 refugees from the whole world were brought last year, and 90% of them were white, you wouldn't think that makes us look like there's a race issue?
Well, supposing that this is a hypothetical, probably they would.
Okay, good.
They probably
so now let me tell you the numbers. So now let me tell you the numbers, because we're talking about when nationalism gets too bad, you start to see it reflected in ethnic and racial discrimination and trying to form a country that has a specific ethnic makeup that you prefer on the basis of bigoted preconceived notions. So just so you know, of those 6,668 refugees, 3 of them were not white. Not 3%. 3 of them. 6,665 were from the country you wanted to bring up, South Africa, we have exclusively brought South African refugees, with the exceptions of 3 Afghanistanians, this while still leaving a number of refugees who were translators and fought for our side in the Middle East. People who literally have done more than most American citizens to defend what you're describing, American sovereignty, have done more than most Americans who live here. Those refugees were not allowed in. The refugees that were allowed in were 6,665 white South Africans, because our president believes in a white genocide conspiracy about South Africa.
Like some great replacement type, even though Africa's like primarily African and dark-skinned and brown-skinned people. I don't support that. Those people that have done more than any American citizen or white South African obviously should be let in. I think there's a part of this conversation that kind of needs to be addressed when talking about letting in refugees into the country is, what are they being let in for? Like, are they escaping violence or oppression or fascism?
This from the guy who brought up the promise on our Statue of Liberty earlier. Wasn't that you?
Yes. Yes.
And so you're asking what they're bringing in for. Again,
yes.
Apparently, whatever those 6,665 white people from South Africa were facing was worse than the refugees of the rest of the world, except for 3 isolated examples of Afghanistan. Is Donald Trump's administration showing nationalist tendencies beyond what is actually reasonable? This is the actual question, because that's what we were assessing.
I'd have to say yes. I would say yes. It is nationalistic. However,
problematically nationalistic was your question.
Problematically. I honestly fail to see how it's necessarily problematic. Yes, obviously we should do what we can to help people in their time of need. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we are
refugees, and he doesn't see how it's problematic. Right. He's failing.
Look, man.
I do, but
I get this weird feeling in my tummy about you, that there's something you want to say but you're not saying it, and I'm new on this show, so I don't want to like presume to give you like a whole runway, but it's a safe space, man. I'm not gonna get mad if you just say what you're saying. It looks like for example, there's a reason that you focused on South Africa. Methinks thou dost protest too much about like you not knowing stuff. Just say what you want to say, man.
All right. So what I wanted to say is, I do think it is nationalistic by bringing in primarily just white South Africans. However, America is a majority white country, and not saying that.
So what? Does it have to be?
Hold on. No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be just white South Africans. It could be anyone. However,
but do we have to say majority white?
How much they are willing? I'm sorry?
Is it important that it stay majority white?
No, not to me. It doesn't.
You were about to say it's important how much they're willing to what?
It's important. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily important. White people who have nationalistic or race realist opinions, who want to keep America majority white because it's homogenous, and there are examples of homogenous societies that flourish because there's basically only one type of person there. Not to say that there's no problem in that society.
That's not true.
But bringing
go
in
on.
people from other cultures, different lands, can tend to complicate things farther
That's also
than...
not. It's not true.
Okay.
First of all, homogenous societies rely on the exploitation of other societies to survive. So if I just count the societies where they're reaching out to steal crap, those aren't flourishing. So that's bad, right? You would say it's bad to steal stuff from other countries, right? Just say yes.
Probably yes.
Yeah. And so here, what we have is a majority. So we're not homogenous here. Where it's majority white doesn't mean homogenous. It's actually like not like homogenous is like a 1-0 proposition. So what you're saying
I didn't say it was homogenous in America. I said it was majority.
Yeah, but you said it's majority and people want to make it homogenous, which would mean eliminating the non-white element, right?
Eliminating how?
Whatever way
I'm not
a white nationalist. So whatever way those people want to do it, whatever way they want to do it, that's how they want to do it. But what I'm saying is, actually, you know what? I don't even care about that, because this doesn't really address Jimmy's question about why it's not problematic that we're just bringing in white refugees.
I would say, to address your question, is that our Black and brown South Africans going to integrate in the way that's going to be conducive and not only beneficial for their lives, but also for other Americans' lives, not bringing problems from their native homeland?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounded a little Triple K-ish.
Yeah, my dog's ears just piped up. Who's playing a dog whistle right now?
Yeah, that sounded.
You can interpret it that way, but
that sounded kind of.
I would say the same thing about white South
I will tell you,
Africans,
people who aren't racist actually resist their words being interpreted that way.
What does integration mean?
I'd say integration means, I would say it probably means, conform is the wrong word.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
it is the wrong word.
Okay, well, conforming
You're
to
looking
the culture
for assimilation
and traditions. Assimilation, okay. Assimilating to the culture, societal norms.
Jason, do you remember that we were talking about refugees?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do refugee programs insist on assimilation? If somebody attacked America and Saudi Arabia took you as a refugee and insisted you be Muslim, would that be considered a regular practice for refugee programs? Or would that be considered quite extreme?
Yeah, that would seem pretty...
So then if a refugee program isn't traditionally supposed to demand assimilation, though assimilation often happens anyway because people want to live comfortably in the countries they are in, wouldn't further evidence of that racism that I think you might find yourself having difficulty condemning it be that we seem to be seeking out the refugees that will already be pre-assimilated for us, as long as they're white, because we actually are ignoring even the pre-assimilated brown people?
Well, my question would be, the example that you gave was me being kidnapped and basically forced to become a Muslim.
No, not kidnapped.
I do want to call out. It is interesting that you said refugee, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And in the racist translation machine that changed to they kidnapped me.
No, they actually are your saviors. I said America got attacked. I said America got attacked, not by Saudi Arabia. America gets attacked. Saudi Arabia takes you in as a refugee because you are fleeing the war in America. But as part of you being a refugee, they insist on you converting to Islam. that would be considered whack, because that's not how refugee programs work. And we've been talking about refugees all this time. And in your mind,
is America doing that to refugees
also
here?
Must assimilate. We've already addressed they're doing that here, because we have now reduced ourselves to white people as refugees only because they come pre-assimilated. We already consider white South Africans mostly American in this country. They do a lot of business here. They're usually economically advantaged. And not to mention, one of them is now the richest person in the fucking world and decides who wins elections because he has enough money to do that and then gets the money back.
Also, we're just working with what you gave us. Like, you said assimilation. I didn't say that. Jimmy didn't say that.
Okay.
But you don't,
I don't
like,
know what to say, man.
You don't really mean assimilation, right? Like, assimilation culturally.
I don't.
Right? You know how boring life would be if,
like
if there were.
I'm not saying that they can't practice their own cultures.
But you want them. You want everybody to practice their own culture. You want multiple different stripes of thought. You want multiple different stripes of, like, language, art, all of that stuff. So what is being assimilated?
Well, I'd say getting rid of the toxic and problematic parts of one's culture, because that's usually what people flee from.
Who decides which ones are toxic?
Either it's violent. I think there's a generality of good and evil. Like, if your culture...
No, but who decides what's toxic? Because right now, I grew up in a white Christian home that told me that black people who lived here as long as white people did and came here not by choice were failing to assimilate, despite the fact that they've been Americans for several generations. So literally, racist, conservative, Christian white people already considered people who are here and arguably have more right to this place than we do, are currently not assimilated with their baggy pants and their slang words and all of that sort of thing. And then they will describe people who don't learn English to their level of satisfaction, even if they are business owners, even if they are hard workers, even if they're in the military. But if they still have too strong an accent, that person's not assimilated. So when you're describing from the right these values of assimilation, I've seen what right-wing values of assimilation are, and they seem to be what we were describing in the first place, which is that we've been talking about some way Donald Trump has been preferable to Biden. And you described that he has put American values first. And the only American value you gave was sovereignty, which is a universal value of anyone who has a state, anyone who has a country. It's not American specific. So we made it American specific by making it basically America special sovereignty, aka nationalism. And then we assessed whether or not that nationalism is merely at the level of patriotism, or if it is exceeded, because actually nationalism is one of those things that once it goes past a certain level becomes extremely problematic. We seem to have identified through just this one example that we are at that place of problematic. And now you are just sitting here trying to define what is or isn't assimilation, just using the word broadly. And I think the problem we've run into this whole time, Kason, I'm going to give you a chance to give a final thought here. Let me finish. The problem that we've used is I think you have ideas of which side you are on, and you know the words they use, and you are essentially just throwing out broad concepts with little to no understanding of the nuance of those concepts. I don't even think you knew what the word assimilation really meant when you said it, for example.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but is it necessarily problematic to expect someone who's from a foreign country, whether you're an American going overseas and becoming a citizen or a naturalized citizen of that country, and vice versa, to expect them to speak at least some, if not most of the language that of the country that you're residing in. Like,
not
I
in a
don't see
melting
how
pot.
that's
No, not in a
problematic.
not in a melting pot country, and it's less relevant than ever now that we can do live fast translation with a phone. Generally, it will still happen because living in a place that is so English speaking, it will be advantageous to them and they will absorb it anyway. But no, I actually don't care whether or not people who move to America and become citizens actually learn. In fact, to tell you the truth, when I can't really eat a lot of foods these days, but when I would go to foreign restaurants, I thought it was part of the charm, honestly. And like, you know what, this place is going to be kind of more authentic because I can't speak to these people.
Okay. Well, what about
is it toxic to not follow the law?
Is it toxic to not follow the law? Mm-hmm. I would guess so, yes.
Is it toxic to have information available to you by way of your membership into a society where it's like free for you to get it and not look at it when it's super low effort to get it? Is that toxic?
No.
Huh. Different set of values with us.
Because I think it is. I think it's.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I didn't understand the question.
All right, I'll rephrase it in less smart speak. Is it toxic to have information at the ready that isn't available to other people and not use that?
You're talking about the communities that don't have access to that.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm saying, do you think it's toxic for you to have information available to you, like here, and not to use the information you have right here in front of you?
To do what?
Read it and learn it, and I don't know stuff.
I guess it's a matter of choice and what you put emphasis of importance on.
Sure. Here, I'll give you an example. You asked about refugees and assimilation. Did you know that we have a definition for a refugee?
Yes.
Okay. And you know that would you be surprised to know that it doesn't mention assimilation in that definition? Like not a dictionary definition. A bona fide federal United States, all the white people got together and said, this is what we think a refugee is, and we're writing that shit down.
Hey, I wasn't there. Not all of us.
All the white people minus Jimmy decided this is what a refugee is, and we're writing it down, and we're putting it on the internet, and anybody who wants to read it can read it. Would it surprise you to know that if you went to look at what all of them people said, the old white dudes, it doesn't say assimilation?
Okay. Well, then I would ask, what is the true definition of refugee? What is the purpose of the word?
You just made a mistake, man. Like, look, you asked me a question,
bro. I got you.
I got you. The mistake you made was you asked me this question way too close to Juneteenth, and I'm going to tell you about the question you asked. The question you asked requires education, and education is a labor verb. And if I answer that question, my ancestors will not allow me to get to sleep tonight. They will choke me. I don't want to be choked. No pause, but I do not want to be choked to the point where I can't sleep. You know what I mean? So when I say to you, you can find this, like if you write refugee legal definition, you'll find it in moments. It's literally on a government site. You can read it and understand it.
I'm watching the stream and I'm talking to you guys on my phone, and I don't want to close the stream.
All right.
Okay, I know you guys are at a computer. Can you just look it up and
here's what I'll do.
And read it?
With your permission.
I trust your word.
I'm going to put on a different hat. Hold on.
The only problem is we're running on time, and I really want to get this one other call. So
okay.
Really
quickly, you're now talking to the bursar.
Yeah.
And the bursar is telling you that the tuition for this school is about $500. It doesn't have to go to me. It could go to me. It could go to Jimmy. It could go to Jovan. It could go to somebody on the stream.
Yeah.
And my hat fell off. Let me put the hat back on. This is a New York Yankee hat. Let's get some tuition, and we'll get you enrolled fast. Like, you're first in line, buddy.
Yeah, if you want to call to be educated instead of debate, that's another thing. But look, here's also the deal.
I'm not trying to debate you
like
guys,
this thing that you're describing, this thing that you're describing is already covered. Because listen, if a Muslim comes here as a refugee with his family, as a refugee, and he is a radical Muslim and decides to do an honor killing of his daughter, will he be tried for murder if he does so on American soil?
Probably. Would he not
everything that we need to do to any kind of requirement of assimilation is covered by our laws. You're not allowed as a refugee here to murder. You're not allowed to commit fraud. You're not allowed to, whatever you're describing as we just need to make sure they're not coming here and bringing the worst parts. Well, if it's a worse part that's so bad they can't bring it here, it would be a thing we already have illegal, because we will have people here who already have those views. I've seen it. That dude, Daniel Pachikachu or whatever, defending the most disgusting stuff like child marriage from Islam, isn't from the Middle East. He's from like Texas or some shit. And so we make those things illegal anyway, and refugees don't get a pass. So if something that could come from those cultures is so negative that we have to force them to assimilate out of that specific thing, even if they're a refugee, we make it illegal for all of the citizens. We don't disqualify them just on the basis of like, hey, you would totally be on board for this thing or whatever. Like that, it's whatever you're describing as like the appropriate level of assimilation is just, if you're here, you do still have to follow the laws. Anything beyond that is your own bigotry. This is your last, we'll give you a final moment here. The last point you got to make, and then we've got one other call we're going to have to try to compress to really fast.
Alrighty. I thank you, gentlemen. I wasn't really trying to come here to debate or to ruffle any feathers. I just wanted to get a perspective and
nobody's ruffled, but it is a debate show. So don't call again unless you're calling to debate.
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm not educated on these topics. I just wanted to get some clarification.
And we're not educators. We're debaters. Thank you. All right. Finally calling, I understand, with a voice changer that's going to be not totally silly, but calling from at least a non-anonymous phone thing. We are going to talk to, unfortunately, we're going to have to make it fast, so you might have to call back again another day. Billy the Kid is on. Billy, I have already unbanned you from chat, as I promised I would do if you did actually call in. You're welcome. So is this the voice changer?
This is a voice changer, yes.
I've already put it through a reversing voice changing technology, and I can already tell that this is Andy Dick.
Who?
Okay. So Billy's younger than he says he is. Billy, are you 20? You know who Andy Dick is. All right, Billy, what point did you want to make?
Yeah, so before we start, I must say that Jovan looks like he might be a shapeshifter. He looks a little bit different.
Okay, but we have 5 minutes, and I know that joke killed with your white friends, but it just comes off as low-key racist.
Oh, stop it, Jimmy. You know it's not racist.
All right, let's keep moving forward.
Anyways, okay. So I wanted to challenge you on your AI take that I say are actually...
Your voice changer is breaking, and so we can't, literally, we lost half of your sentence. You're going to have to back up to, you said my position, which is, we heard nothing after that.
Damn it. Okay. Now.
I heard now. I assume you said, can you hear me now? I'm not fucking with you. You'll be able to go and look at the stream after. You're going to need a better voice changer technology if we're going to do this. I also suspect, based on the sound of your voice, you only think your voice changer is working. I actually think I think this might be your voice. So it could just be your connection that's bad.
It could be, Jimmy.
Will you sing the first line of America the Beautiful?
What? America the Beautiful.
Conservatives never know their own songs. That's crazy. By the way, that I don't think you're using a voice changer. Voice changers can't handle singing.
Wait. Who's a conservative?
Are you not? What are you, Billy?
Why would you assume I'm a conservative?
A series of experience with very dumb comments from you?
No, I never profiled myself to be a conservative.
So what are you?
But anyway,
we don't need to play this game. What are you?
I am non-party affiliated. I'm not left and I'm not right.
Who did you vote for in 2024?
In 2024, I voted for Kamala Harris.
And then did you consider voting for Kamala Harris instead?
No, I think Kamala Harris was my top choice.
And what about 2020?
2020 was Mr. Sleepy Joe Biden.
So you're telling me you voted for Harris, Biden, and I assume you're going to now say Hillary before that?
Correct.
Okay, so you are a Democrat or a liberal, or at least that's who you vote with.
No, I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a liberal. Again, I don't put a label on myself, Jimmy.
Super lib.
You could fight. Right. Yeah. That's a super lib thing to say. I don't put a label on myself. It sounds super lib.
I don't.
Okay. But you could.
Well, take it however you want, but
don't is a silly exercise, because while definitions can be reductive, you're not talking to people who will prevent you from achieving a nuance you might have. So you know what label you most associate with, or even broad labels. Are you capitalist or socialist?
I'd say I'm in between.
Lib.
I believe in capitalism. I think it generates wealth, but then I also have some moral issues with capitalism.
When you phone banked for Andrew Yang, where were you on the leaderboard?
Good one.
Yes, correct.
So,
all right.
But Jimmy, I know we have limited time. Can we just get into the AI thing really quick? And then maybe I can call back later and we can chat.
Yes. What point of mind do you contend with?
Sorry, say again?
Well, we have like 1 minute. So what point of mind do you contend with?
So I don't think AI is as big of a threat to jobs and society as you do. Nowhere near as big.
Okay.
And I can explain why and give you some backup data on that.
I just find it to be the strangest exercise, because generally when I debate people on this, one, the appeal that I'm making most often isn't what it could do. It's what it's doing now, what it's working on now. And then I even reduce my hypothetical to a conservative number that the right tends to agree with. So whether or not you agree with me that I believe literally 1% of the 166 million working people, that 1% of them who will want jobs and want to work will not be, I reduce to 1%, despite the fact that 10 years from now, I suspect it will be closer to 10, and longer than that, it will be much higher. So 1.6 million people unable to get work that want work. And that number, we've already begun on that number. We've already started building it. And so, then you have to talk about the nuance between underemployed versus employed. Do we really call a person as fully gainfully employed if last month they were working in the software field and now they are door dashing to put jobs together and put like pay their rent and shit, and they can't get out of that cycle, and there is no future job on the horizon for them because the market is now oversaturated for them. So it's weird.
So I have a solution for that.
Great.
Okay. So what we have to do, well, first of all, a couple of weeks ago, you threw the number of about 50%. Now it's down to 1%, but that's okay. I agree with you now.
No, you're not going to get to that's okay. I have never said that 10 years from now, 50%. I have always used that number. The actual number for overall, eventually we will get to 20 years could be 50%, but we will get far beyond 50%. When I have invoked the number 1%, I have said, I will give you a conservative number lower than what I believe it will be 1% 10 years from now. What right-wing capitalist solution exists for people who want to work and still can't? No matter how hard they try, we've run out of the re-education. We've run out of the retraining to new stuff. All of that is filled up. It's simply 1%, no matter what you do, can't get work. That has been the hypothetical, and I have been consistent. So, Billy, if you want to engage on this, do not misrepresent.
Okay, so when you say that all of the training has been it's been taken up, what do you mean by that? Because I want to challenge you on that. I don't think that's the case.
That in this hypothetical, we are talking about a hypothetical where 1% is unavoidable. We're not talking about a hypothetical where there still are jobs to retrain to, because we're already running out of those jobs now. We're talking about, hey, there are some new jobs, and short-term in some places, building data centers. There's even a resurgence of jobs. But overall, there will be this pool of people, minimum 1.6 million. I think it will be closer to 20 million 10 years from now. But we're only going to go with the 1.6 that can't. There just isn't. The jobs that you could retrain into, all taken. There's this 1% of people that no matter what, they just can't get a job, even though they're hard workers and they want to. We're not talking about the people who would qualify for welfare, disability, anything. The hypothetical is, if we hit that, whether you believe it or not, because it is such a danger, we have to prepare for it. What capitalist solution is there for that day?
So if we can prepare ourselves now, those people that are most at risk, like automation jobs, they can start preparing now to work, to learn, to integrate AI into their jobs, rather than the
Okay, so you can call back another day because you're already ignoring the hypothetical. There is no they then just still, they start preparing now and then they still have a job.
Right.
They don't have jobs at the end of it, period. We're out of time. We got to go to Jovan's stream. We've already gone over on this one. So call back when you want to engage, preparing for the actual, whether you believe it's going to happen or not. It's crazy if you don't, because the people both creating this technology and criticizing this technology both think it's a guarantee. When you're prepared to engage in the actual hypothetical.
I'd like to challenge you on your 20%.
But I don't care about the 20%. I don't care about the 20% when it comes to preparing for the issue and the problem, because whether I'm right on 20 is more of a vibe feeling of, hey, here's the thing we know is coming. This unemployment, mass unemployment is coming, and it will come in some amount of timeline. Based on consuming a lot of information, my vibe is 20% in 10 years. No, 20 million in 10 years. That's not quite 20%. That's the vibe I'm getting from all of it. That number will be wrong. It will either be less or more. The odds that I will nail it on the dot are almost impossible. It could be more, it could be less. The vibe I'm putting out is about 20 million. The number we know conservatively for sure will happen is, in fact, conservatively, by conservatively, I mean 1.6 million is definitely less than the actual number. Definitely. So my number will be wrong. We'll go with that next time, Billy. We don't have time because you wasted time on not even knowing what my position was apparently in the first place, because you've been listening for what you want my point to be and have not prepared with the nuance of my actual point. So go back, consume the stuff I've said before, call back, and let's talk about the actual proposition and a capitalist solution to unavoidable unemployment.
And a socialist one, in your opinion?
No. Then it wouldn't be a capitalist solution. I'm saying there are none. There are zero capitalist solutions, but there are socialist solutions.
Yeah, but you said that socialism is the only way. You said
correct,
because
there are zero capitalist solutions, but there are socialist solutions.
I'd like to understand that a little bit more in my next call. So,
great. We'll talk then.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, Jeff. AI is kind of the thing I think is the most important thing to be debating about, but I know it bores a lot of people.
I work in Silicon Valley, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's crazy because you have all of these people who are like, legitimately, we are working with it. We are talking about a technology that scientists, that again, not just the people marketing it, the people criticizing it and responsible for observing and assessing it are putting on the scale of nukes. And yet private companies are the ones getting to form it. And that people really think I'm literally arguing with people who think that it's not going to cause any unemployment when it's causing unemployment right now. Not Billy. I don't think Billy was saying that, but legitimately all of these comments I'll get were, wow, Jimmy legit thinks that AI can do more than, and they'll use the dumbest example. A person did in a call the other day. I've built an app using Claude Code for us in the background at this company, and it keeps our company organized on calendar, on accounting, all kinds of stuff. And I've never coded a day in my life. I'm not a software engineer. And I'm literally building apps that my software engineer friend asks for the code of and re-implements it on his own stuff because they are working so well. And I use him in return to assess safety concerns and shit like that. And people will then be like, it can't even spell the word. It can't even count the R's in strawberry because that was a thing years ago that it kept making a mistake on. Well, even then it was capable of crazy stuff. So you just say it can't count the R's in strawberry. Therefore, it must only be capable as a 4-year-old because that's what a 4-year-old can do, ignoring the fact that at those same times, AI was already being used and putting people out of work. It's just, it drives me fucking crazy on this shit.
It's nuts because it is an industry disruptor.
Yeah.
And right now there's a split on where the money should be going. So either one side is right and it's going to do the thing that they want it to do and replace people in their jobs, or the other side is right and the bubble's going to burst and companies are going to lose a lot of money and lay off people because they don't have the money.
Can I give you an option C?
Sure.
The bubble bursts and then A happens anyway. And this is the thing. For some reason, nobody's going with that. Mm-hmm. Guys, what are the biggest bubbles of the last 30 years? Real estate and internet. Mm-hmm. When those bubbles burst, did those things get better or did they go away? No, we now see the worst of the internet post-burst, and we see the worst of real estate. 13 million homes, is it empty with 600,000 homeless people in a country? Like, so, and this is the reason why I wanted to present the option C. You weren't doing it, but people will be like, and everybody agrees. You're like wrong because AI is a bubble. No shit, it's a bubble. No shit, it's going to burst. Unfortunately, now we also live in a stupid country that's going to bail out all of those people, including Elon. I mean, as far as bubbles go, his fucking SpaceX is trading at 100 times revenues. That's fucking crazy. Talk about vibe shit. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to go off on my thing. Of course, AI is a bubble that's going to pop. Just like the internet bubble popped. Just like the .com bubble and just like the real estate bubble popped. And both of those things, the outcomes are worse than what was being projected. And so that's where I'm on. I'm the option C. I think you presented correctly that A and B are like the options you would think to choose between. And I'm like, it's both, guys. It's literally both. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, you can tell I get a little too tizzed about this.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I know we're gonna head over to Jovan, but
yeah,
I had fun.
I'm glad. I can be long-winded and talk too much. We'll definitely do one, and I'll take my mouth shut and you get to. I definitely want to do some God stuff with you. You said that's where your passions kind of lie.
That's my bread and butter.
Hell yeah. Awesome. We'll see you over on Jovan's stream. It should redirect there automatically. I got to go find a link. We'll see you there on Jovan's channel. Bye, everybody.